biker war was already raging in Montreal. Clubs were switching sides, bombs were going off, bodies were disappearing, and in the middle of it, one man kept showing up, not as a victim, not as a leader, but as the one pulling the trigger. They called him Apache, a Hell's Angels enforcer, a contract killer, a bomb maker, and by his own admission, responsible for more than 40 murders. But what made Yves Apache Trudeau truly dangerous wasn't just how many people he killed. It was who he killed: rivals, partners, friends, even his own club. And eventually, the Hell's Angels themselves would decide Apache had to die. The man they called Apache, late 1960s Montreal. While biker wars were violent across North America, Quebec was different. Here, conflicts didn't end with fistfights. They ended with bombs, shootings, disappearances, exploding cars in residential neighborhoods. Police later called it the Red Zone. And this is exactly where Yves Trudeau came of age. He was obsessed with three things: motorcycles, weapons, explosives. He even worked in an explosives factory, quietly learning skills that would later define his reputation. In 1968, at just 22 years old, he joins the Popeye Motorcycle Club in Montreal's East End. They weren't just bikers. They were already involved in drug trafficking, prostitution, extortion, theft. But Trudeau stood out immediately because, unlike the others, he didn't just participate in violence. He enjoyed it, and before long, he started building a reputation. One kill, then another, then another. By the time the biker world noticed him, he already had blood on his hands and a nickname: Apache. Chapter 2. The War Begins. The late 1970s changed everything. American biker gangs were expanding into Canada. The Outlaws MC pushed north. The Hells Angels followed. Suddenly, Montreal became contested territory. Clubs were pressured to choose sides. In 1977, the Popeyes made their decision. They patched over to the Hells Angels, and Apache became one of them. But within weeks, he would escalate the war. Outside a bar in Montreal's Little Italy, Trudeau spots a young Outlaws member. He walks up, pulls a gun, and shoots him. Just like that, the conflict explodes, and Apache becomes the Angels' most valuable weapon. The perfect enforcer. What made Apache different wasn't just that he killed. It was how he killed. He used silenced pistols, car bombs, remote detonations, disguised explosives, contract hits. He became known for his precision. No witnesses, no survivors, no mistakes. Soon, even outside gangs started hiring him, including one of Montreal's most powerful crime organizations, the West End Gang. They controlled the port, the drug imports, millions of dollars in cocaine. And when they needed someone removed, they called Apache. One victim had allegedly stolen drug money. Apache planted a bomb under his car. The explosion destroyed the vehicle and damaged homes across the neighborhood. Another time, he delivered a television as a gift. Inside the TV, a bomb. When the target turned it on, the entire apartment exploded. 4 men died instantly. 8 neighboring apartments were destroyed, and Apache walked away again. By the early 1980s, Apache had become too dangerous, even for the Hells Angels. He was heavy cocaine user, unpredictable independent, working outside contracts, killing without approval. And worst of all, he knew everything. Then internal tensions split the Montreal Angels into 2 factions. Sorel chapter Laval chapter Apache aligned with the Laval group. The more reckless side, more drugs, more violence, more chaos. The Sorel leadership decided this couldn't continue, so they made a list, a death list. Apache's name was on it. March 1985. The Laval chapter receives an invitation, a mandatory meeting at a clubhouse in Lennoxville, but it wasn't a meeting, it was a trap. 5 members arrive, they're led inside. Moments later, gunfire erupts. The The bikers are executed, their bodies dumped in a river. It becomes known as the Lennoxville Massacre, one of the most infamous killings in biker history. But one man wasn't there. Apache, at the last minute. He sensed something was wrong. He checked himself into a detox center and unknowingly saved his own life. But surviving created a new problem. Now, he had nowhere to go. The Hells Angels wanted him dead. Rivals wanted revenge, and there was reportedly a bounty on his head. Apache, the killer, had become the hunted. Apache made a decision. He turned. In 1985, he was arrested on weapons charges, facing prison, facing assassination, facing isolation. He struck a deal. He would testify against everyone. Hells Angels leadership, hit orders, murders, bombings, disappearances, and he didn't hold back. Apache confessed to dozens of killings, helped convict around 19 Hells Angels members, including figures connected to the Lennoxville Massacre. The club he once killed for was now collapsing because of him. But Apache never truly escaped. Even in prison, he was marked. Then something unexpected happened. He developed terminal cancer. By the time he was released, he was weak, wheelchair-bound, barely able to speak. The most feared killer in the biker world was now dying quietly. No revenge, no shootout, no dramatic ending, just a hospital bed. Yves Apache Trudeau died in 2008, almost completely forgotten, but the damage he caused lasted decades. Outlaw, the most dangerous kind of killer. Apache didn't just kill enemies, he killed allies, partners, friends, his own club. And in the end, he destroyed the Hells Angels from the inside. Which raises the real question: was Apache the Angels' greatest weapon or their biggest mistake? Because once they unleashed him, they could never control him again.